use it, how easily you can remove it. And the magnetic material, just put a magnet nearby and it will connect with something from the magnet. These nanomaterials are being used in dentistry. Nanomaterials are used to address the dental problems like polishing of a normal surface, prevention of caries, teeth whitening, anti-sensitivity agent, dental filling, dental implant. As in the morning address, Professor Vikram Kumarji pointed out that in SSPL as well as in other laboratories in mask, they were working on the issue of dental mask. But at that time, I think nanomaterials were not frequently used at that time as a dental plant. But today, in most of the advanced laboratories, most of the advanced hospitals, nanomaterials are being used as a dental plant. Nanomaterials in food packaging. Food packaging has become a necessity for modern life. It protects food products and maintains the quality. You see that we are of elder generation. We don't believe to buy the cooked food from the market. We prefer to eat the food cooked at home, but our new generation, younger generation, our children, they prefer to buy the food cooked in the market, they order them. So packing is very important for this. And for packing, you see that protection and preservation, contamination, communication and marketing, and convenience, intelligent packing, all these are essential, and nanomaterials are being used for all these purposes. In the nutshell, I would like to say biological component itself acts as a reducing and packing agent. Therefore, overall cost is reduced when you use green method for the material. Eco-friendly. It is eco-friendly, that is environment-friendly approach, as toxic chemicals are not used, because we are using phytochemicals, which are not natural chemicals. External experimental conditions like high pressure are not required and leads to energy saving. This green method can be used at large scale production of nanoparticles. Thank you very much.
Now the talk is open for the discussion. If anyone wants to ask any question.
You just study it, eat for some time, the nanoparticle will settle down, and you can just return. But if you are using collider method, then you have to use some reagent which can neutralize the colloidal particles and then it will come.
Any other question? Anyone
So
wants to ask?
your papaya seed cannot be crushed in powder form. Then how do you do it?
Yeah.
Wet means papaya seeds.
You dry it,
cannot
you no.
crushed.
You take papaya seed. It is one of the components. You can take any. I just gave you an example of a papaya seed. You can take tulsi leaf, take out the extract. You take neem leaf, take out the extract. You take mango leaf, take out the extract. You can use anything. I gave you an example of papaya seed. You take out the papaya seed, it is wet. Wash it with water to remove other material which is contaminated. Dry it. Just keep it out the sun. It will dry, and then press it in powder.
Okay. Sir, what about the gold synthesizing bacteria? How can we develop?
Just I said chloroauric acid. I said chloroauric acid has commonly been used for the preparation of gold and material. Chloroauric acid is taken and mix any plant extract, tea, fruit, flower, anything. Recently, what we did, we took the flowers of different temples nearby in Greater Noida around Sadha community, and we took out the extract of the flower, mixed silver nitrate solution, immediately we found that silver nanoparticle found. We allowed to settle down, we separated it, and then took the UV visual spectra, and we found that the peak is of the purpose was to sense heavy metals in the water solution, because heavy metals are very dangerous when they are present in more than optimal amount in water. So we mix different metals, including chromium hexavalent. And this silver, which was prepared by using the flower extract, it sensed only chromium hexavalent metal, not other metals. But if we prepare from other material, it will sense maybe other metals. But so far we have performed this experiment that we prepared silver nanoparticle by using flower extract and it sensed chromium.
Yes, please.
Sir, I have one thing. You said that I can use any plant extract, right? Any plant extract to synthesis nanoparticle. But some X plant and some Y plant does not have the same chemical composition. So how the effect will be different?
I say that different plants make a different type of phytochemical or different concentration of phytochemical. Now, when you mix one plant extract, you find relative silver and fire. Now you prepare with different plant extract, again you find silver and fire. The size of the nanoparticle is silver and particle obtained from one method and from the other method is better. The morphology may vary, composition may vary, so the properties may also change. But ultimately you get silver nanoparticle with different.
So sir, as a beginner, if I want to synthesis silver nanoparticle, what would be the parameter that I should search for a particular plant extract should have to convert it to the?
You see that it's not a simple question or answer, because the plant extract they contain a lot of chemicals which is added, and to detect the exact amount, exact nature of the compound, GLP, mass spectrometry, NMR, IR, all those techniques are to be used, but even then probably will not be able to detect correctly. But those chemicals which are in higher concentration, they can easily be detected. So if you want to prepare any nanomolecule, you take just any plant. I say you take you remove the silver nanomolecule, take the actinic electron, take the scanning electron microscope, take the transmission electron microscope. Okay? You have one result which you prepared by neem leaf. Now you take Tulsi leaf and again you do the same, and then you compare what are the differences between two, and if there are appreciable differences, then our science comes into picture. Why there are so much difference? Then, as I pointed out, there may be changes in the pH, the medium. There may be changes in the concentration of the phytochemical. There may be some other reason. The functional groups which they have at the surface may be different. So we can understand.
And so just last one. Say for example, if I detect it neem leaf or tulsi leaf, is that the same rule? I mean, is there any general procedure to prepare that extract?
No, there is no general procedure. You just ask it. I make a powder, dissolve it in water, try to dissolve it, boil it, then a certain portion of the phytochemical must have gone into water solution. That's why I say the concentration change. So it will rise.
Yes, please. The last question because
पीएच जो पीएच वैल्यू जिनपे जब नैनो पार्टिकल को सिंथेसाइज किया जाता है तो उसके अंदर पीएच वैल्यू क्या मतलब कैसे नैनो पार्टिकल साइज होती है?
Exactly, I can't say how this pH affect the size of the nanoparticle. You see that there are different chemicals in the plant extract that are chemical. Some of the chemicals may have acidic character. Some of the chemicals may have basic character. So depending on what is the concentration of acidic character molecule or what is the concentration of basic character molecule, the pH will change. If the overall character is acidic, the pH will be less than 7. If the overall character of the extract is basic, the pH will be more than 7. Now, the metal salt which you are adding, if the ionization or other factor is there and the negative component dominates or the positive component dominates, then depending on the negative or the positive character, the interaction of the pH will affect the formation.
So let us thank the Singh for such a nice talk. That has given a brief, but a very much detailed information regarding the nanoparticle synthesis to greening foods and of course their medical and other applications. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Right.
The second talk of this session is invited talk. Invited talk by Dr. Ajay P. S. Zanur, and he will be talking about SPR gas sensor, theoretical and experimental investigation using polypyrrole composite clean films. Dr. Ajay Pratap Singh Zanur received his BSc and from Dayal Singh College, University of Delhi, and MSc DP in physics from the University of Delhi, New Delhi, from the University of Delhi, presently working as Associate Professor, Department of Physics, Delhi College, University of Delhi. His research interests are in the area of condensed matter physics, high temperature superconductivity, perovskite solar cell, and the study of nanostructures based design of devices for gas sensing application. Presently working on SNO2 and ZNO polypyrrole composite nanomaterials and its various properties and applications. He has vast experience in teaching at different colleges. He is the life member of Math Tech Thinking Foundation, Fazlika, Punjab. Also an affiliate member of Royal Society of Chemistry and American Chemical Society. Have experience of organizing several national and international conferences and seminars. Dr. Ajay, you will be having 25 minutes time and 5-minute discussion. Thank you.
First of all, I thank organizer of this conference for inviting me for invited talk. And it's a great honor to speak in front of such eminent professors, teachers, and research scholars. So my topic of talk is surface plasmon resonance gas sensor, their theoretical and experimental analysis, investigation. So this is my outline of my talk. I will briefly describe some basic of sensors. Then first nanocomposite semiconductor metal oxide ZNO and conductive polymer polypyrrole gas sensor. Then tin oxide polypyrrole gas sensor and their component. So sensor is not a new word. All of us are very familiar with the sensor. Our human body have 5 senses, for example. Even some plants, just like sunflower, has the sensing ability. In nature, all things based on sensing abilities. So machine-based sensor or some devices which are important for human and other industrial activities. So one of them is gas sensing. So detect hazardous and industrial waste gases like ammonia, nitrous oxide, and so on. We require gas sensors. In medical field, we require biosensors and so on. So based on their transaction principle, they can be classified in various ways depending on technology, thin film sensor, thick film sensor. Nowadays, screen printing is quite familiar. So we can broadly define or classify the sensor based on energy domain like thermal sensor, optical sensor, magnetic sensors, and so on. So the sensor composed of 3 elements, basically sensing material, then their transduction principle and the input system and output system. So the sensing material play a vital role to get the exact or optimized sensing material is the need of time. So various type of sensing materials are available. Metal semiconductors basically have the property of operating at high temperature, but they are good sensors. But they lack the selectivity property because there is some interferences output for various gases. Similarly, conducting polymers operate at room temperature, but they lack the stability and they degrade easily due to humidity and other effects. Then it is my work, field work, that is composite, nanocomposite metal oxide with conducting polymer. So they can be again parameterized on various terms, just here shown, sensitivity, selectivity, then the response, recovery time, response, the dynamic range, limit of detection, and so on. So the property of an idle sensor, it must have low cost, operate at room temperature, and specificity that is only selecting a particular gas or analyte. Then I come to my work, that is ammonia sensor. So like many other hazardous gases, ammonia, which is output product of industries and farm fields, have a highly toxic effect of humans and animals also. So it's a 35 ppm concentration is very harmful to humans and other. So to detect it at early concentration, that is 5 ppm is the need. So the sensor must be in this concentration range. So as I have told, the sensing material is the basic need which give us an idea to choose the material. So here I have used semiconductor metal oxide like zinc oxide and tin oxide and conducting polymer polypyrrole. Due to polypyrrole and ammonia structure have the quite similar structure. Then the technique, there are various techniques, conductometric techniques and other techniques, other optical techniques are available, but the most easily available or simplest technique is surface plasmon resonance technique. So as we know, the plasma is the ionized state, or you have electrons in metal which are just like a free gas C model. So ionized form or plasmonic form have various attractive properties. So in bulk, you have a wave propagation, especially in plasmonic, which is called bulk plasmonic waves. But at surface, that is the boundary, you have a different type of wave propagation, which is called surface plasmon waves. So it is shown here. So when an incident light strike on a metal dielectric boundary, so the wave vector of the two light, that is the incident light, which is given by the Ks, K substrate or T dielectric, which is frequency divided by speed of light c and under root of dielectric constant. But inside the boundary or at the vicinity of boundary, you have surface plasmonic wave, which is given by or depends on the dielectric constant of the two materials, that is metal and dielectric. So there is a gap, as you can see. So as you can see, the wave vector of the two waves, that is incident light and surface plasmon wave, have a gap. So to at any frequency, you can't have k vector equal. So to match this k vector, you must have some system of some coupling agent which can fill this gap. So for that purpose, we use prism as a coupler or fiber of optical fibers or a diffraction catering can be used. So this is the condition of resonance. So two wave vector when matches with each other, we have whole of the incident light energy get transferred to the surface plasma wave. And if we take the graph of reflectivity, so we can see this phenomena surface plasma resonance based on the attenuated total reflection or total internal reflection. So up to critical angle, when this incident light is less than critical angle, the reflectivity or reflectance, which is the reflected light intensity, is very much higher. That is almost 90 to 100% of light get reflected. But after this critical angle, as we goes on increasing the incident angle, there is a sharp fall, and at particular angle, which is called resonance angle, almost all the incident light energy get absorbed by the boundary material, and this is the basic principle for application of gas sensing. As we know, at the boundary, if we have two different type of materials like gas molecules or analyte, so if the concentration of these analyte varies, their optical properties vary. That means their refractive index or dielectric constant change. So by plotting the graph, we can easily detect the analyte present at the vicinity of the boundary. So this is the basic principle. So also there are two type of configuration. Earlier there was auto configuration, which if we take a prism as a coupling or coupling, so you can see if we take a metal film, thin film, which is deposited on the prism surface, and after which we have the dielectric. Here, for example, here is dielectric. We have this surface plasma on resonance phenomena. We have a evanescent wave here. Incident light is formed this. So if we take instead of metal first dielectric wire, then it is called auto configuration. So for the simplicity, we use Fishman because it is very difficult to deposit this thin film of gold here, or so air is used after the metal. So now we come to our first one. It is published in Plasmonic this year. So as I told you, this is based on surface plasmon resonance principle. So first, we optimize theoretically the thickness of this metal film, gold film, then ZNO film and polyvinyl film, and then this optimized value we find experimental result with the varying concentration of ammonia gas. This is our model. Here we have this chamber attached with the prism. So first we vary the thickness of the gold metal. So as you can see, the sharpest curve or minimum reflectance was observed for 40 nanometer thickness of metal. So this is optimized thickness for gold film. So this is step by step SPR curve for 3 layers. So first using only gold film, then zinc oxide with air as dielectric, and then polypyrrole composite on it. So as we can see, the resonance angle goes on shifting, increasing on towards increasing, and minimum reflectance. These values also changes. So then we kept the thickness of polypyrrole fixed around 100 nanometer and vary the thickness of ZNO. So you can see again there is a increase in resonance angle as well as minimum reflectance goes on increasing. Then we take separate plot of this thickness variation with resonance angle, minimum reflectance, and full wave half maximum. It is easily predictable here that it is increasing with thickness. So we can say for minimum full half wave maximum value, this is our sharpest curve. So we optimize the thickness of ZNO as 100 nanometer. Now we changes or vary the concentration thickness of polypyrrole from 100 to 300. Again, we see increase in resonance angle. There is a change of minimal reflectance value from 100 to 150. So we can plot it separately on the 3 variables, that is minimum reflectance, then resonance angle, and the full wave half maximum. So again, it was observed that 150 nanometer is our optimized thickness. So then also we varied the incident light frequency. So it is observed that around 633 nanometer there is a sharpest curve. So this is the effect of refractive index. So as we vary the refractive index, it's theoretically calculated using Fresnel equation. So again there is a increase in resonance angle and minimum reflectance. So now we experimentally change the concentration of our ammonia gas from 0 ppm to 200 ppm and obtain the experimental result. And theoretical values are also plotted for comparison. So as we can see, resonance angle increased from 54.9 to 95.3. So again, we plotted the 3 parameters. Here resonance angle variation with concentration, minimum reflectance with concentration, and full wave half maximum concentration. Then refractive index variation with concentration. So we can see here up to 10 ppm, which we have plotted separately, that this variation of refractive index with concentration is linear. So this can justify that we can use this composite as a sensing material. So this is our calibration curve. We have also taken the transient or dynamic response of this concentration variation. So again, it is observed for 0 to 10, it shows a linearity. This can work as a SPR gas sensor. So in conclusion, the thickness of ZNO and polypyrrole get optimized, then their response and sensitivity was observed. So this work as an efficient SPR gas sensor. Now we come to our second material, which is tin oxide polypyrrole sensor. This work is also published this year in Sensor. So again, we optimized vertically the thickness of gold tin oxide and polypyrrole thickness. Then observe their reflectance curve, and we also perform the conductometric studies. So this is the obtained result. So as we can see, resonance angle increases, new reflectance decreases when we vary the thickness of metal semiconductor. So this is separately plotted, and again we obtain the full wave half maximum at optimized thickness of 100 nanometers. So this is the variation of thickness of polypyrrole. So again, this shows the observed vector. So the sharpest curve was observed for 300 nanometer of polypyrrole. So we compare both thickness with heat map graph. So it was observed for 100 nanometer tin oxide, 150 nanometer tin oxide, and 300 nanometer polypyrrole. It was the brightest. So this is our experimental studies. So we take the optimized thickness of polypyrrole as 300 nanometer, 100 nanometer tin oxide, then observe the SPR reflectance. So we again vary with concentration 0 to 200 ppm. So this is three parameter: minimum reflectance, resonance angle, and full wave hardness for this sensor. So again, refractive index variation with concentration. So this is the humidity study of this sensor. So it was known that 4280 RH. There is a shift in the this minimum reflectance and resonance. So this is our dynamic study for the sensor, proposed sensor. So again, we obtain the calibration curve. So this is conductometric study. So it was observed around 150 degrees Celsius. This SNO2 is having a good this sensor response of 60, and repeatability studies also performed. So it shows the good result. And interference studies of various other gases, for example, SO2, NO2, LPG, and other gases also performed. So for ammonia, it was maximum. So in conclusion, an efficient SPR based tin oxide polypyrrole gas sensor was designed. We obtained the peak frequency of 1 second and high sensitivity of 4.513 reflectance per ppm, and dynamic response of sensitivity also obtained. So conductometric sensors are also performed. So this is the comparison of the two sensors. So we see the result here with concentration variation. So there is a, as we can see for ZNO, there is a change, a large change in minimum reflectance, but for tin oxide, this reflectance value remains almost on the same value, small variation. So this is the resonance angle of two ZNO and SNO2. Then minimum resonance, reflectance, minimum reflectance, and afterburning. So we can see that this SNO2 perform best as compared to ZNO. So this is the polypyrrole variation, and this is the ammonia concentration variation. Then refractive index variation of the two sensors. Then dynamic response. Now with other methods or techniques, so this they perform Pathak and other group perform the SPR technique, but they obtain the sensitivity of 2.15 and their response time is 1 minute. But compared to ours, we obtain a higher sensitivity and within 1 second of response time. So out of all the configuration, SNO2 polycarbonate multi-layer configuration is the suitable structure for sensing ammonia gas, having higher sensitivity and lowest response time. So in conclusion, a gas sensing system for the recognition of harmful and hazardous ammonia gas is made using an SPR laboratory tech structure. Ammonia gas sensing system that was proposed for our developed ZN1 SNO2 performed better than expected, and the result obtained are shown here. So there are some references.
The talk is open for discussion. Any questions from anyone?
So how do we identify that a particular substance will act as a sensor or it is the hit and trial?
Particular substance, you mean sensing material?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is actually based on some transaction principle. For example, our thermometer is a sensor which take the volume change or rise. So depending upon just like the resistance, RT is a sensor. So change in any property, physical, chemical or biological, we can use it as for sensing.
This question is, how do you identify that this will sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
question,
okay.
This will sense LPG. How do you know which what will sense what?
yes,
Yes. Okay. So as you are saying that I am saying ammonia have a structure similar to polypyrrole. So when they two combine together, so there is a just like a in bio reactions, you have a key and lock system. A particular analyte or molecule can attach with a specific molecule. So their structure or any property must match. So that is the basic mechanism.
Any other question?
From the sphere, the nanoparticles, better actually respond. They should be in a organized unit.
Yes.
Whereas when you make an experiment, they will be randomly distributed.
We did.
All nanoparticles.
Sorry.
How are you arranging the things?
They are 2D material. They simple. We are depositing.
Nanoparticles,
Hmm.
gold, 40 nanoparticles,
Yeah.
you got from somewhere, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you are depositing it on your
On this.
on the prism.
Yes.
So they will be randomly arranged.
Actually, we are taking the very small
They
thickness.
are not being organized.
Yes, obviously because they are very small thickness, 40 nanometer thick layer of this thing. So that is the thickness of the layer. We exactly not have the nanoparticle size.
Here.
Ah.
Randomly distributed.
Actually, they have electron basically with their metals basically. We are using the surface plasmon resonance principle for metals, not size dependent properties.
Okay. So as Naga are saying that lunch is awaiting, so let us thank Dr. Ajay for this nice talk. And if anybody has want to discuss anything, you can continue the discussion in the lunch time. Thank you, Dr. Ajay. So the next presentation is an oral presentation by Ms. Swati Singh of Banaras Hindu University. Our topic is use of solar power for heat generation for household application. So, Swati, you have 10 minutes of presentation and 2 minutes of question. Please. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Swati Singh, and today my topic of presentation is use of solar power for heat application for heat generation for household application. The requirement of getting electricity, continuous electricity at low price is essential but challenging at the same time. Especially in the undeveloped countries, there is no sufficient electricity for people to do their regular work. The major problem faced by them is in cooking. To overcome this problem, different renewable energy sources being explored. One of the approach having a cooking system that is energized from the solar power, not by directly using the solar cooker, but by storing the energy in the form of heat and utilized as per our requirement. The solar cooker is a device which uses sunlight to cook the food. The first description of the principle of solar cooker was given by Swiss explorer Sachot. But cooking of meal from sun was largely developed in a French foreign league. It became highly popular since it does not utilize any fuel and hence does not contribute to the environmental pollution. Solar cooker basically utilize the principle of concentration, diffraction, absorption, and greenhouse effect. It uses direct sunlight to warm up the pot and hence the food is cooked. The glass is responsible for the greenhouse effect because it captures the heat within the solar cooker. The solar cooker is broadly classified into the three categories. The first is solar panel cooker. It is solar cooker is placed. It is also the second is solar cooker Celsius. So it is mainly used for the boiling purpose. The second one is the box type solar cooker. It is the most known and famous type of solar cooker. It uses direct sunlight for operation. The maximum temperature obtained in such kind of solar cooker was around in the range of 90 to 200 degrees Celsius. Low temperature achievement is one of the main disadvantage of this type of solar cooker because we cannot store the heat for the later purpose. So it is good for the small family or for a tourist. The third one is the parabolic solar cooker. It consists of reflector, so it has high capacity to reflect the solar light. So, in this type of solar cooker, and the maximum temperature of this type of solar cooker is around 350 degrees Celsius, but it has a disadvantage that it requires a number of adjustment and attention for the safe operation. So this is our model. The component which are used in our model was given below. The first one is the thin film solar module. It consists of 4 modules in which 2 are connected in the series and 2 are connected in the parallel. And we use 2 subsides which are somewhat cylindrical shape and both have the different dimensions. The smaller one has a capacity of 4 liter and width is around 6 inches and the larger one has a capacity of 7 liters and around 8 inches. They both are made by steel and designed so that the smaller can be the larger, having the gap between them. The gap is filled with the glass wool insulation. The purpose of the glass wool is to reduce the heat loss between the 2 subsides. The chemical and the physical property of the glass wool is not affected by the oil, water, or even steam. The thermic oil is filled in the inner subside, and voltage and the temperature sensing was connected to it, so they can able to indicate the temperature and voltage given by the module to our chula. Yes, sir. The oil gets heated and by the transfer of heat from inner substrate to the lid, heated and food. Only the chemical module is on the roof and our entire in the laboratory. So these are the few results. The solar photovoltaic chula works on the principle of photovoltaic. We try to work on the system for 2 days during the load hours. We try to cook some of the dishes on the solar photovoltaic chula. Initially the reading was given at every 5-minute gap and then every 10-minute gap. The dishes which are cooked on the chulha gave the favorable result and we are succeeded to achieve our aim. As in the graph, we can see that the voltage remains almost constant during the operation and the temperature of the oil goes increasing with the time. From From graph, we can say that at 11:40 a.m. the temperature of oil is around 153 degrees Celsius and it increases and reaches to around 167 degree at 12:30 p.m. So this graph shows the performance of the solar photovoltaic chulha. The efficiency of the system increases as the temperature of the water increases. From graph, we can say that at 10:40 the temperature of water was around 40 degree and it increases and reaches up to 110 degree at 12:40 p.m. In case of no load, the efficiency of the system increases linearly with the time. From graph, we can see clearly that at 10 a.m. the oil temperature was around 70 degree and increases and reaches up to 200 degree at 1:30 p.m. After putting the input and output data, we get the efficiency was around 43.24%. Our system gives the daytime, but we are not able to work at late night because the oil does not have sufficient capacity to retain the heat for such long time. So these are the few conclusions. Once the food is cooked, the inner substrate remains hot, so we are able to store the heat even for a longer time. The time taken for cooking the food in our chulha is slightly greater than the conventional LPG gas. The voltage remains constant during the operation in low hours, and the temperature of water and oil both increasing during the operation in a low hours. To enable the night cooking, we can even use the raw fabric or even a phase changing material. And for providing the better insulation, we can use straw board or raw wood. At last, I thank the Department of Physics, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. Thank you.
One or two short questions?
Well, have you designed all these solar cookers?
Yes, sir.
Designed
Yes, sir.
yourself in the laboratory?
Yes, sir. Actually, madam, helped me.
Is it your MSc project?
Yes, sir. Department of
Is it
Physics.
Yes.
Yes.
But milk is the basic need of every house. Milk boiling. You didn't discuss anything.
Sir, I used to cook two dishes that were kheer and savory. So, sir, no dishes the data.
Also probably wants to ask some simple question that milk is a very simple.
Basic need.
Basic
Every
need.
house.
Why do you have to know that the Varna type? No.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Boiling milk.
boiling the milk. नहीं question. उन्होंने की
You can eat as much beer as you want, but you can't drink too much milk.
No. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I would like to invite the next speaker to give a mentor to the speakers, this and but we have to do please. I would also invite Dr. Amit Sharma to give input to Professor Nilesh Srivastava for sharing this. Now, I have one more talk, but due to lack of time, we proceed for lunch. At the same place, ground floor. we will go.
You do have.
कोई बात नहीं दोबारा नहीं बट जब सेशन शुरू होगा तो मैंने आप उतना बड़ी जानती है कौन सुपरवाइजर आप कर लो ये भी वहां कर रही है स्मार्ट यूनिवर्सिटी में भी थे इस मजे वाले हां मेरा हम सब लखनऊ वाले हैं एक साइड आरबीसी तो हमारे सब किया पांडे सर मैं तो पांडे ये यूनिवर्सिटी का है मैं उसको वैसे ही बोल रहा हूँ वो वहां से
घंटी कहाँ बज रही है? मेरे
Okay, sir, no question. Direct नहीं होगा ना? इंसान को पता नहीं तो कॉलेज जाती है।
Basically,
ये जो दोनों बचा जहाँ जो लोकल इधर दिवाली और काफी
Welcome to session 2. Good afternoon to everybody. In our conference session 2, that is will be chaired by Professor Yogesh Kumar, but unfortunately he is not available. So I would like to continue on behalf of Professor Yogesh Kumar and Dr. Parag Agrawal. This session contains one plenary talk, one invited talk, and 3 oral talks. First, we should start from plenary talk from Vinod Srivastava from Banaras University. Little bit about Professor Srivastava. Dr. Srivastava has been working in the field of solid dynamics since 1989 with their special emphasis on polymer electrolyte synthesis and characterization. Her group is presently dedicated to synthesize economical, environmental friendly, high and fast and conducting polymers in salt polymer electrolyte membrane for all solid state flexible electrochemical devices. Her group is presently exploring starch from different botanical organs to achieve the target and optimize the starch-salt combination and its composition for commercial application. A special synthesis protocol developed by her group resulted in low-cost, easy to synthesize, freestanding transparent flexible electrolyte membrane and is being successfully tested for fabrication of electrochemical devices such as all solid-state flexible capacitors, microbial fuel cells, etc. Her group has already submitted 2 patents for which are under examination with patenting agency.
I think it is published. One is published. Beside the material synthesis and characterization, Hadoop is equally involved in understanding the ion transport mechanism in polymer electrolytes. The group has developed a process of impedance data analysis under conductivity formalism to extract the information regarding the applicability of different format of conductivity or equation. Professor Nitin Srivastava has received INSA Visiting Scientist Fellowship in 2014. She has delivered several talks in many international and national conferences, workshops, refresher courses, etc. Professor Srivastava has many national and international collaborations. Her group has handled many projects and has many international publications to their credit. Professor Srivastava has two patents. One is on electrolyte of starch-based electrolysis of a starch-based electrolyte, and other is on low-cost electrolyte membrane for microbial fuel cell application. Now I would like to invite Professor Srivastava to give a talk on challenges and possibilities in synthesizing the commercial level polymer insert electrolyte.
Thank you, Professor S.P. Singh, for giving me chance to be here. And yeah, as a I think being teacher, I am quite audible and I can speak without mic. I think I'm audible till last now. That I will prefer to talk like this because that's much better. As already Professor has told you, the topic of my talk is regarding the challenges and possibilities in having the commercial level for certain salt electrolyte. This is shortly known as PISC. Throughout my presentation, it will be written as PISC. These three friends actually the working force behind this all the work which we are able to get perfected, and the second one is applied. And presently, these four students are completed. But if we are going to here, if we are looking at for the introduction, just for the purpose of introduction, and making you coming into presentation. And we know that the electronic technology is moving at a very great pace, and we have seen the technology is moving at such a great pace from very big mobile systems to a smart watches which we are using the many medical instruments. So, and have reached the electronic devices have reached the health monitoring systems, etc. So all these devices, all these electronic devices need electronic energy devices. And these energy devices also have to be very small because electronic devices are between small miniaturized. So these electronic devices, these energy devices also need small, lightweight because we are really good electronic elements. When it comes to electronics, many extra properties we have. sometimes water can go on this and problem bearing devices, you are okay. So they have to be proposed. So that it can work. For the devices market is dominated by the format, right? We all know that these devices are presently all these batteries are lithium-ion batteries. These are dominated by the format. The problem, some problems in these devices which we have to address. Other major concerns being used in the commercial devices. In these devices, and transport comes with a polymer heavy system in comparison to our few things. So it takes slow, it is quite slow. So it ultimately the iron flow pattern is also moves in a very slow manner. So and also the time transmission number. That means in a system if you are having for energy devices it is preferred that so iron contribution is dominated by the pattern only. But in case of polymer both are moving and sometimes it has the negative pattern. To improve the energy density of the systems. The short introduction of the polymer that are being used in the market. Then have a look that how relatively everything polymer short relativity varies with the short varies like this. Define these different parts of this conductivity. This is the simply we are adding the salt more. So ions are there, so conductivity is increasing. But here the iron is there from little start. And the conductivity is decreasing because of this iron there formation. This is found that if you increase the conductivity further, you may have to also that is because of the iron formation. No, it is not the transformation, but instead, it is a deep dissociation of salt because of the starting Coulombic atmosphere. But whatever it is, we ultimately face a decrease in the conductivity because actually the conductivity is because of the competition between the traditional polymers are scientists lead the system at this point. They can understand that no, after increasing the salt beyond this is not good enough to be used or to experiment. But CA in 1990, he said, not only increases the connectivity, but the fast time transfer is there, and we are studying the increases the tachyon transfer number also. So that was hypothesis by the CID that both in some system also. We can understand complex system in the that up to 50% connectivity. So they are distributed. They are not connected. So in this case, they result in a decrease in the connectivity, which is actually deep point in the previous. connecting with each other. And when they start connecting with each other, a new very high conductivity is very fast and also the line transfers number has been shown like this. Actually been in the polymer. So, we can understand 19 chemistry Nobel Prize for battery purpose. So we is now working on this polymer and salt electrolyte. And he has shown that yes, if it is the cluster and cluster very fast. So you can understand that how good it is, what this mean class of electrolytes are and how much scientists are dedicated for this and how they see that it is so important. In this paper, we have reported that the lithium conductivity we have achieved -4. You can say that this is not very good, that additional polymer or the order of this, but it is not the only. It is much faster and single cation is also there. That is also important. But still now, we are reporting in this order. So, what are the challenges in PIS? If in 1990s, CNL has showed that it is so good and it is such a good electrolyte system and you can solve the many problems. The challenges is unavailability of suitable polymer like this. This is capable of holding a large amount of the salt. As you increase the amount of the salt, the salt starts crystallizing. Crystallization is started in the system because if you are take a simple example, water is not. If enough water is there, it will be dissolved. If water is less, then it will start crystallizing and pressure will start there. Same problem is here also. In some cases, conductivity is reported of this order 24 minus 4 to minus 5. But in that case also, the quality of mechanical quality of this is not both are there. That is also not very good. Hence, the commercial application in this thing are going to be achieved. All these samples are very promising. We have to understand that there's any difference between the host when we select the host for the polymer composition or synthesis. Is there any difference between the host for the acid and PIS? Yes, there are difference, and the reason are that in our acid the polymer how the host behaves in that. The polymer has to accept and dissociate the salt and also the polymer chain dissociates the salt needs to be strong enough so that polymer chain because polymer chain looks like this and the salt jumps like this with its movement. So if oil is not associated with the polymer chain or the then it will not move with it. So the iron transport will not be there. So in SIP, the strong enough iron association is required for the mechanical nature of the polymer also small so basically, and when it comes to the PIS, What is required? The role of a host is very important but limited. It must accept a large salt, a large amount of salt and keeps it dissociated. छोटा सा हम लोग कहते हैं 50 से ज्यादा डालते हैं 60% सॉल्ट लेते हैं 70% सॉल्ट लेते हैं उसमें 20% 30% उसमें हम पॉलीमर डालते हैं तो पॉलीमर अमाउंट इज वेरी स्मॉल तो डिसोसिएशन कैसे होगा दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सो होस्ट हैज टू बी वेरी स्पेशल everything is to keep the mechanism for the device. In this system, in the process of keeping the system, then we have to understand that in this case, polymer and salt association should be good enough for to dissolve the salt, but at the same time, it should not be good enough to support the polymer system motion. So the other one, जो polymer की use ज़्यादा slow हो जाएगा. So it should be low enough for decoupling of the system, decoupling it should be low enough to dissociate the salt. So these things are very important. So in that case, you can understand that in both the both for SIPE and both for PIS have to have different properties. So we cannot blindly use traditional polymers which we use for SIPE or which are being reported in the literature for the PIS system also. Before moving further, it is important to note to mention it here that a very new and novel class of polymer electrolytes are being used nowadays. These are known as water-in polymer salt electrolytes. As we know that the water is the best solvent for the developing the electrolyte system, and for that, but we know that they have limitations. No electrochemical stability because of the dissociation of water. Now, the new method has been applied. The water in the system, but that water should be stabilized, not being broken by the voltage. So electrochemical stability control is quite wide. So this is a new class of polymer. If we consider this, we will see that in coming slide we can see that how our group is using both the things to get a better electrolyte materials. Next I will see so in the latest publication 2020 it defines the polymer electrolyte system in three groups. One, this is the conventional electrolyte, or you can see SIPE. These two are SIPE, PISE, but this is diluted PISE, where some material like water or etc. are being added so that you can get a better conductivity, less viscosity, etc. So this is the latest trend of polymer electrolyte to be investigated. So with this background knowledge, our group has started working on this material, and we have tried to understand that what makes the water such a novel solvent for the electrolysis. So we know it has lots of oxygen, it has a lots of probability of hydrogen bonding, and the presence of O and OH supports the salt dissolution in water. With that background, we thought that let us find out something which is of equivalent nature. So we have started working with the starch because starch is also having lots of OH, and the probability of hydrogen bonding is very good in the starch material. Another thing which has promoted us to or motivated us to do this material, to study the starch material, is that starch breaks with the application of salt. That is a very important material, that why we are able to get a very good, excellent quality of the PISC material. Very good, where the world is facing problem in developing 10 to the power -5, 10 to the -4. As I have shown that the good NS group is also working with the 10 to the -5, 4 conductivity. And in our case, we are getting conductivity of the 10 to the power -2. Or even if we decrease the water content, it is decreased by 1 order. If we keep it in the at 22% of humidity, even then it is conductivity decreased by 1 order, or it remains at 10 to the -3 and very good flexible condition. So we have our tools to use starch for our material. I think this is actually low. So this is what motivated us to use the starch for PISC. Sort break the starch in a smaller molecules, resulting in a greater number of OH bonds, which can interact with cation. OH and H starch are known to make hydrogen bonding, and a smaller molecule increases the probability of hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen network can help the possibility of the matrix inside. But when we started working this, very soon we and the failure was that the system was full of the fungal growth. When we started working, it starts the direct food of the microorganism, so it has totally fungus out there. This fungus has not only deteriorated the extracellular property, but at the same time it has deteriorated the is it the next one? Then it has also deteriorated the I think missing over the so that we have tried to understand that what to do. We have done the cross-linking with the starch, which has resulted in the preservation of the starch and no in that material. And while selecting the salt for the starch, we have to understand that this Hoffmann series is very important whenever we are selecting the starch for the electrolyte preparation. We have to this side materials are better performing material in comparison to left side. So whenever we are working with the starch, we have to take care of this salt series also. When we say that for commercial application, along the most important parameters are materials cost and safety feature, easy of molding and molding the materials in different shapes and its environment benign nature. Our group has developed a simple synthesis protocol where we are using methanol or acetone as a solvent. We make the salt solution, we make the starch solution in the same, we mix them, we use the cross-linker, put it behind, mix them, and within 4 to 5 days, very good freestanding films which are very much flexible, can be easily achieved. Not only chemically cost effective, but synthesis protocol is also very easy and doesn't need very dedicated sophisticated instruments or sophisticated systems. So this important class of synthesis material, as I have told that it is very important, it has already resulted in one patent has been granted, and the other patent for a certificate we have submitted the first examination report, and the objectives in the first examination reports are very minor. We are hopeful that we will soon get the details of may get the patent for the granting certificate for this also. So once we synthesize the PISC system, the first and most important thing is that okay. Characterization of PISC. The moment we prepare the PISC system, two questions we have to answer. First is that the salt, added salt, if we are saying that we are adding 75%, 80% salt and only 20% are more polymer. We have to ensure that it has been accepted by the polymer. And the second thing is that salt is in dissociated form. We have taken two things. We are taking the XRD. This is the floor salt XRD. This is the floor wheat starch. You can see that no peak for the salt is present, even up to 3:1. We can make 3:1 means 75% salt, 1.25% starch. So no peak was observed to this, or even beyond this, no peak is observed, but we are not going beyond it because then the mechanical properties, so we are not. This is for MgCl4 system. So these are two examples. Optically, you can see the film is very homogeneous, very nice. In some places, it's transparently also good. The SIP, these are written on the backside. So you can see that the so the system is soft, flexible, transparent, freestanding. Many systems we have tried. We magnesium salt, corn starch, arabic starch, this is potato starch and animal. It is not like this that we are working on one or two. We have explored many systems and we have successfully developed a very nice flexible systems after in PISC mode. No crystallization is shown. Good flexibility, you can stretch it and please and in this video you can see that how good the flexibility is. But then is folding it like this, and then reopening it and again folding it, and the system is quite good. Very transparent, very nice. It is quite thin, but we can make thin sample also because it is used, it is prepared using the simple solution task technique. Use less amount of the salt, you will get the thin sample. You use more amount of this, use more and next one. So this is the cell micrographs of the system, different system layers here and here. There. Make it tasty. So, Sam has also indicated that the material is quite good and homogeneous. This is the conductivity. You can see the how good the resistance is. 1 ohm to range में the conductivity है. So the resistance है और we are making it traditional way. We can use this signal by any order and we can also be reduced as is required for the commercial application. The next important thing is value of ESW, which is quite good. And here this ESW indicates that water present in the salt in the system or absorbed by the system is not getting broken by the speed or anything. So it is very stable system. Relaxation time is very fast. Electrolytes are of the order of seconds or milliseconds. In our case, it is a microsecond, which is very good conductivity of some systems and which is also getting the conductivity of -1 order. Very good. The humidity dependence, humidity dependence is very less. This value is given in values, not in the logarithmic scale. So this much humidity dependence is very, very small considered in comparison to the other polymer electrolyte systems. Temperature dependence almost stable. So temperature is also not, that means this material is ambient resistant. You can say that small change in the temperature and humidity is not affecting the system. This is the relaxation time for some other system, just to let you know that whether we are working with the wheat starch, potato starch, or rice starch, the system is in a higher concentration rate, the relaxation time is very less. So, okay, this is the relaxation effect of temperature and relaxation time. Increasing a little bit. We are under at present we are investigating this, no comment at this, but you can see that last and sometimes we can say that like metallic case. We say that at higher temperature its mobility is decreased. We can say it is decreased. We can consider of that kind of behavior also, or it may be some other phenomena also we have to analyze. I'm working on that also, that it may be a type of behavior. Relaxation time increases at higher temperature. Yes.
some kind of biomaterials because mostly the silica and carbon-based materials are available in our residues. We have to synthesize. We can develop some kind of materials. For example, the green polymer, pharmaceutical, biomedical, environmental, food and paper, nano cellulose. So these can develop variety of materials. So these are the processing. I will not discuss too much on the processing. It's too complex and not easy. I will say. So biomass applications. So we know the biomass applications and the applications of agro-waste. Agro-waste means whatever we are facing the problem today, the parali. The parali is the farmers are burning the parali and getting the polluted Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, and even the West UP. So this is one of the big problem of the biomass. Even there are many applications we have here. We can produce a variety of materials. So biomaterials, the biomaterials, the moment we can synthesize from them. For instance, silica, the silicon carbide. We can develop the carbon-based materials. Carbon-based materials there are many. For example, carbon 2, graphene oxide, fullerene, carbon 660, carbon and so on. Biochar. So we need to biogenic. Why we need to synthesize? Why we need biogenic materials? So biogenic materials better because while we are synthesizing the synthetic materials, we are taking the minerals from the earth crust or somewhere else. So there are so many contamination. Biomaterial means some of the materials reaching to the plants, the leaves, the fruits, the stem, and the root. So that means the plant can can survive in a contaminated environment. Somehow the good component are there. So that is the value materials are useful and better than so why we need to synthesize biomaterials? There are many challenges today. The challenge is the sewage water. So we are just washing the clothes in the washing machine, and we are just discard the sulfates or sulfates. Like without sulfate, the sulfates are toxic. We are washing our clothes in the laundry machine and just throwing the sewage. This is one of the biggest problems of the society. And we are using the chemicals. We are just throwing the chemicals. We are using the number of a lot of batteries. Every citizen has their copy the batteries. So batteries have the toxic materials and the emissions while we are throwing the battery. I know the infrastructure people are doing more, spread more pollution to the environment. Just using the battery and throwing into the garbage. What is happening? Because batteries are cadmium sulfide, lead sulfide, or the lithium-ion batteries. Lithium is one of the most toxic and lightest metal can easily released to the environment. So these are the challenges while we have to use the biogenic material. We can synthesize the biogenic materials from the waste and utilize for the treatment for the nature. So these are some kind of applications, the treatment of water, because the silicon carbide, I just explained that we can synthesize silicon carbide. And one of the Korean company have developed because we are drinking the RO water. It's not pure alkaline. It's not the pH 7.0. It's 6.8. Somehow it's acidic. The acidic we are drinking the RO water that is then just slow poison. So they are using the silicon carbide and silica based some ceramic plate in the RO. That's why we can make the water the pH value 7 or more than 7. Water is one of the top business today. We are drinking actually what is the fashion today. So we have to think how to drink the clean and neat water. So super and the sunglasses. And we can use the synthesize the biomaterials from the applications of paint industries or glass industries. You know, the waste of the silica, flint glass, silica glass, quartz glass, toning glass, there are a variety of glasses. So we can fabricate a variety of glasses. While we need the anti-glare skin, we can use that one because we have to use some contamination. We have to use in the material. For example, the titanium dioxide. Once we use the titanium dioxide in the while we are fabricating all these glasses, we can protect inherently dopant of the anti-glare or anti-UV reflective layers in the glass itself. So why we have to work to the society? Because this I explained that detail about why we have to do the research, because the society is suffering a lot of problems today. So we are not thinking how it's impacting, how it's affecting the society in coming 20 or 30 years or 50 years. So we have to think we are living in a good environment. Think about the next generation. If this slide is explaining why we have to motivate to do good work, to research work, to innovative work, to develop some kind of new things. Because you can think today we can see this photo is taken from the Punjab. Some of the fluoride is giving the red color of water. So we have to completely contaminated the groundwater just because we are just discharging water. However, Noida and Hyderabad, they are not treating the water, they are just discharging water. They contaminated the washing for the meat industries. It's contaminated more. By other things, we are using the pesticide, we are using some of the preservatives. They are toxic and they are really easily released to the environment. And what is happening? You know, we are very intellectual society, killing society, and highly qualified society. Why we are doing? What we are doing? Mostly we people intellectual are contributing more than the people living in the village areas or remote areas. Why? We are using the variety of products and this is going into the dustbin. What is happening? Somehow the people and the grassing, the ceramic, the food, and the people just throwing the one off and throwing out. What's happening? The garbage collector, they are collecting and they are throwing on the pile of garbage. You can see that having in the urban areas. Outside the urban areas, there is a piles of the mountain. So the total mountain of garbage. What is happening? The rain is coming. Battery was there. The contamination was there. Laundry water is there. What's happening? The contamination is going to the water, the rain is going to what's happening? The river is going to the farmer using the river water, and that sulfates, lithium ions, cadmium, arsenic. But where is going? It toward the crops because the ions too tiny. The madam explained about ions. So how tiny the ions? We cannot see the naked eye, even the microscope the ion. We can see the electron, but ions too tiny. You can't see. It is usually growing through the plants, through the xylem or phloem. So we have to think about the these are things, this slides completely explain why we have to do research and how to protect our society. You know, the waste, the laundry waste, detergent waste, with formaldehyde, phosphate, sulfates, and e-waste. You know, e-waste one of the more dangerous to the society. We are using the fast switching electronic devices. We call the gallium arsenide. While the gallium arsenide to the environment, the arsenic somehow is isolated. The arsenic is separated. You know, once the arsenic touch your body, it doesn't mean to keep the intake. It just your body, force the body can enter the body. Once they enter the arsenic in the body, no treatment, no medicine, treat and isolate the body from the arsenic from the body. What will happen in next coming years? You will suffer from severe disease and you will die in next couple of years. No treatment, no. That's when the cancerous disease day by day increasing. The same thing is observing. You know, the arsenic doesn't end. In the mirror, I have observed last year, 5 hand pumps were sealed because of highest content of arsenic. How it is coming? The people are throwing the gallium arsenide stick to the canal to the garbage. It's going to the slowly going to the groundwater, and that hand pump is getting the arsenic. The arsenic too toxic. You know, I worked to fabricate the gallium arsenide devices. I worked a year and a half and quit just because of arsenic. We completely cover our body, but somehow arsenic is touch your body, it will enter your body, nobody can protect. So this slide is explaining the whole problem of our society that we have to work, we have to do, we have to develop some sensors. And government is organizing workshop conferences, motivating us. Oh, use the e-vehicle, e-cars, e-rickshaw. What happened? We are developing the batteries. What the mechanical, what the battery engineer doing? While they're treating, the battery water is just going to the drainage, just going to the society in the environment. What will happen? It is happening. Cadmium or sulfide is going to the drinking water. Drinking water means going to the farming land. This farming water. What happening? You are eating the green vegetables. That not eating the drainage, but you are eating also the contaminated cadmium, sulfide, arsenic. You are eating. What will happen? You will suffer from next couple of years from severe diseases, and no medicine can treat you. Several politicians, bureaucrats die just because of cancer. So not for us, Arun Jaitley. But they have everything, but they have to go. Manor Parrikar, he died less than 60 years old. They can protect. At the beginning age, we don't bother about too much. While we suffer, we think, we give the lecture, we explain the things. So that's our society problem. So modern trends of the research is going on. The people are talking about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. Let's think this is the facilities. So what the behind after that? So next generation of batteries. You know, and I'm working in supercapacitor batteries. I also have the one patent granted for batteries, and I worked some different batteries where we have not used the lithium or cadmium sulfide or the other toxic heavy metals. So that things we can see autonomous vehicles and e-vehicles, organic organs on chips, open ecosystems, outdoor genetics and system metabolic engineering. Major challenges to dispose the garbage that with the biomass. And use of biogenic materials, photocatalysts. So I will skip, no need to discuss here. So we are going to cover today the smart. We need a smart class, we need a smartphone, we need a smart system, we need a smart car, we need a smart home, we need a smart automation. So what big smart means? We should not work. Means we just lying on the bed, sitting on the chair. We do not move our body. What will happen? Means not movements. कितना पड़ाव पत्थर होता है चलती का नाम गाड़ी है. If you movement, if you are body doing the movement, that means you will lie. If you are sitting in the one place and not moving, protect the things. What will happen? Your age day by day decrease. If you will survive next 70 years, that means you are losing 10 years. You will go to 10, 60 years. So that means smart, strategic, valuable, attainable, and relevant, and time based. So this is smart and material. I will not discuss too much. So this kind of bit over the automation. Today nowadays this is an instrument that always speak. Whatever they speak, the system start working. Even the singing, even the sound, and they can stop, control the TV, they can control other things. Just speaking, everything is controlled by the voice. So we need such kind of systems, but we have to protect our society along with the development that we need to do today. So another structure I will discuss. You know, in the morning, many eminent, invited and primary professors, he explained about the nanomaterials. So I think to speak and to say, calculate the nanomaterials, it's quite easy to speak. I think nano is nothing. It's just fixtures. It's just a fake. You know, we are studying since my childhood the atom radius in angstrom. It means nanometer. So that is well established. Nothing new. It is fixture. So people are just misguiding us, what is the nano is nothing. So nano is nothing. So I observed the three important things. There I go the nanowire and develop some kind of what kind of mechanism we have, we should develop. You know, we have three types of mechanism, nanotubes, nanowire, and this is the nanoparticles. Nanoparticles, Professor Singh is that the nanoparticles are good. I think nanoparticles are not good. Nanoparticles need more energy. That means you can see the tracks. Several tracks. Then electron reach to the electrode. And I don't explain about the electrode. That's super chemistry. And while we are using the nanotube or nanowire, you know, it's a single step, single track. That means we can save the energy, we can switch the fast, we can move on the fast switching devices and high electromobility devices. So this slide is explaining about. This is and many lecturers have seen that there is no citation how and where they collected the data. That is the weakness of the presentations. I think that would be improve the presentation. While we are quoting something, we should cite or it is your work. So that is the drawback I observed this morning. So it's my request. So we need what we need environment friendly green technology where everything should be green. So think about the photosynthesis is completely green. Where it is producing the fruit means cellulose, it's for producing the protein, it's producing the sucrose, or whatever. We are developing the roots, the stem, the leaves, the fruits, everything. From where? Because of the chlorophyll, the presence of chlorophyll. So chlorophyll types of chlorophyll, and they're producing different kind of the fruits and the other things. So to convert the hazardous, so that's why somehow you can see in the ponds, the towns, the ponds or the तालाब में कई सारे पेड़ उगाते हैं गंदे पानी में जबकि उसमें सल्फेट से जा रहे हैं सल्फाइड जा रहे हैं जा रहे हैं. So think about if they can survive, that means that the biomaterials we will collect from them, it is useful that we can use for the drugs carrier, medical applications. And you can think about we are using the paracetamol, 500 mg, 700 mg, but that is tablet some grams, 1 gram or 2 gram tablet, and that is milligram. So what is milligram? So milligram just a minor medicine, 2% or 5%. Rest of them the drugs carrier. That the paracetamol will consuming, that is the we call the drugs carrier. So we can use the biomaterial as a drug carrier. We can use the biomaterial because when the plant can survive, that is good for the health, good for the living. So we have to change that way. So smart applications of daily use self-cleaning glass. We need once we install the glass in our paints, the glass window paints or the smart cars. So once we just wash the water, it should be clean. That means we need the auto clean. That we can use some kind of the water splitting hydrogen cell, fuel cell convert. So we are thinking, we are working on an important project. We have to produce the hydrogen from the drainage water. Get the treating and producing the hydrogen too. And we can release the oxygen to the environment. It will work that we call the artificial photosynthesis. That means the green synthesis, the direction we are working that way. So I will stop many more slides. So biology material silica. Silica, just I will discuss this slide, rest of them I will pick. So we need the limitations of synthetic method. Synthetic method means the high energy requirement, low yield limitations of the instruments, reduce the waste from the environment, that is advantage of biogenic or biomass materials, low preparation cost, low toxicity, and high yield, and lower cost. Because we are developing the biomaterials from the waste, the biowaste, the house waste, or other waste. So these are the structures. I will skip that and structure of the silica and silica powder. And these are the applications. So let's take a look about the literature. You know, without literature, that is the things we are presenting not authentic. How we can report without authenticity. So we should care about that presentation. So I have explained some of the writers we developed in the nanomaterials, banana peel, orange peel. So these are the citations what we have collected from the literature. So people, thousands of researchers are working in that direction. You know, synthesis of silica nanoparticles. Silica, you know, while we are burning our body. So what exactly the remain? The silica and carbon. और whitish जो राख देखते हैं वो सिलिका है, जो black है that means charcoal, that is carbon based material. We can treat the carbon based material, we can synthesize the graphene, we can synthesize the fullerene, the CNTs, graphene oxides, and white we can produce the silicon. So in our laboratory, one of my scholars synthesized very pure silica nanoparticles, completely white. So this is the way I will not discuss. Even this paper recently was published, Applied Surface Science Advanced in 22. So these we have collected 3 different locations of the rice husk, and then we treated. You know, the South Korea. This is the right from the middle of Karnataka. This is for Tamil Nadu, and we tested the different locations and different contamination, different kind of silica. So these kind of chemical compositions, raw material or triple material, I will skip. These are the actual mechanism. The chemistry department's professor can understand easily what kind of mechanism, what kind of reactions are happening here. So these kind of charts. So this is the mechanism. So how it's producing kind of silica. You know, these are the biosilica and lignins are there, the cellulose are there, the hemicellulose are there. So we have to treat in SCL 10%, and then we can remove for different shapes, and finally we can get the biosilica. So these are the reactions. This is already published in Islamic International. So these are XRD is confirming that is the amorphousness of the materials, and this is the chemical composition we have analyzed by IDEX spectra. This is IDEX mapping. We also tested the pore volume, volumicity, means if we have higher surface area, then it can work more functionality, the more surface area. And this is the another analysis. So this is the data already published in Islamic International 2016 by our group. And this is the core analysis. Means we have evaluated the bright field TMAs, HR10. HR10 we cannot see any kind of lattices. It means completely amorphous. And it is further confirmed by SAED. SAED, the circle is confirming kind of amorphous. So the Roman structure is also confirmed again. There is no carbon content stored in silica. And we tested for bacterial compatibility or antibacterial. So this work I performed in South Korea and published in 2019 in Journal of Nanomaterials in 2019. So recently synthesized silica, one of my group, we have collected 4 different of waste, sugarcane baggage, walnut, peel, and pine root and rice husk, and different kind of so this is the some kind of the FSM and bright field TMAs and SAED that is confirming this the pure amorphous nature, and we are getting the agglomerated grains, not crystalline. It's further confirmed the crystalline amorphous nature. So this is XRD pattern, that's also confirming, and this is the IDEX spectra, the chemical composition in the synthetic material. And this is XPS survey. We have tested the XPS measurement just because of chemical bonding, binding energy, how they are binding the silicon oxide and other element with the silicon. So we are looking for application of medical and sensor application for this kind. And recently we have synthesized graphene oxide. This is some basic properties. 8 electrodes. So we are using the diamond, graphite, and C60, C70, amorphous carbon, single mode CNT, and C540 for the full range. So these are the allotrops of carbon presently used today. So this is the structure of the graphene, and this is actual structure. You know, this is the real structure. It's coming from microscope image, and this is the design structure, the hexagonal structure, single layer graphene nanosheets. So in the literature, you can find the I have explained one by one. You can see the citrus peel. They use all 4 different articles represented. They have synthesized single layer or multi-layer graphene nanosheets. So these are the applications from today. We are using the organic. we think of the organicality, we are enjoying the flexible display. So how they are making? Just because of some carbon-based materials. And there are two types of bottom, I will skip that one, there's a message. So this is the synthesis of graphene protein oxide. This is also published in Applied Subject Science in 2022. So this is the way and flow chart of the synthesized graphene and graphene oxides. So this is the actual images you can see. We collected one material and three different ways. So one is the silicon nanoparticle, this is the graphene, and this is the graphene oxide, nano graphene sheet, the graphene oxide nano sheets. We can see the clearly the sheets. For further confirmation, we tested the bright field image of the sheet. You can see sunlight through single layer or multi layers. You can clearly see in the images. HRTMS further confirm this is single layer, this is multi layer. And this also tested the NCEM surface tunneling electron microscopes. We can see just like the X-ray lays. This is STM. I further confirm that is purely single layer graphene sheet. So this is XRD pattern and these are parameters. Extra full survey. You know, this Raman structure is confirmed the graphene sheets. So this is the structure, three structure design, and three is the capture by the FESCM and PM. So in the morning, I have seen one lecture. The silicon is one of the most useful electronic devices material. The silicon is one of the useful material. So how to synthesize? So we are trying to synthesize the silicon from silicon. So this is the way to silicon. I have measured, and this is silicon nanograins, not particles, nanograins, and isolated spherical grains. So we are thinking that in future to use for electron devices.
But we are running some time to test it to just compare.
Pardon, sir?
Sorry to interrupt you, but and we are already running late to test it.
The man is skipping. Several slides are skipping. So this is another. If we are not using the properly, then we can use the silicate glasses. Silicate glasses is very popular today. So silicate glasses from the biomass. So we have developed the silicate glasses. We have measured the electronic optical properties. And this one recently published in the last one, post technology report. So this is the graphical summary about the synthesis of graphene nanofeeds. This is the graphical summary about synthesize. Here the glass needs to be crushed and measured various properties. So conclusion, I will speak the one sentence. The mesoporous silicon, graphene, graphene oxide, silicate glasses successfully from the biomass and already published. These are the publications of this material, what we have done. And this is the acknowledgement. The institute supported me during the work. And this is myself. I prepared another. I developed recently nanosponges and published in the 22 in the Journal of Luminescence. It's one of the best because we tested for biosensor applications. So my structure is unique and it is very high number. One journal of luminescence, very high factor. Finally, we published. It's just like a sponge. A sponge you can see, but the software is controlled. It's a spherical sponge. So myself, I am working in South Korea. I also got the Best Progress Award in South Korea. Thanks for kind attention.
Thank you, Sanjeev sir, for the very nice lecture. So the session is open for queries. Sir has given a very detailed analysis of the biomass derived nanomaterial for the betterment of humankind. So,
Sir, can you please go back to the slides of graphene single layer?
Actually, without challenges about the society without think the objective. Most of the researchers are doing research. In that area, just doing research, just do complete the PhD or some publications. Not focused challenging the society and how to grow the society को challenge को कैसे resolve करें. What will happen after 30 years? We are moving everything. What will happen? In the drainage water, we find only the acids, only the cadmium, only the sulfide, only the lithium. What will happen? You will die yourself. You are spoiling your system by yourself. So think about how to protect your system first. Then the sensor, then the other medicine, the other things will work. So my motive is to motivate the youngsters because I worked more over decades in abroad than in India. More than 10 years, 12 years I was in abroad and I worked. So this is the main challenge to the society. We have to work for it.
Just a single layer graphing.
Single layer. Okay. This was newly, it is unpublished. Still, we are working, testing the medical applications. This is under. No, another slide.
Yeah, this one, I guess.
This one.
Actually, just I want to know how from the TN image, you can confirm that this is the single one and this is the multi-word. Just I'm curious to know.
No, this is the FESEM. In FESEM, we can see just the graphing just like those. You can see. Okay. यदि हमें देखना है.
This one.
This one. So in that means SAM means scanning electron. That means transmission electron. Means single layer we have to lapping the layer, and we can check the layer it is single layer or multi layer. So while we are checking the HR10, this is the bright field TEM image, and the same image we have checked the high resolution transmission electron microscopic image. So you know here we can see the single layer, right? Here we can see the multi layers, one layer, second layer. That is the means 5 nanometer range.
But I guess the confirmatory test could be the AFM. For
AFM is AFM is not proprietary tool to evaluate the key sheets.
But
AFM can measure the surface morphology of that fields only.
But how will comment regarding the number of layers?
Number of layers? No, it's a wave synthesis. The way you are using to synthesize the sheets.
I understand.
Yeah.
But then for the multi-layered graphing,
Yeah.
how you can confirm that this is a triple layered or tetra layered?
It's HRTL, you can see.
Can you say very confirmed? It is a 2 layer or 3 layer from.
Exactly, you can see. If you go more resolution, you can get
Yeah, just next the XRD, right?
XRD is significant. XRD is
The next slide, I guess.
XRD can give the
No, I just
structural information.
want to see the XRD. Yeah, sure. That. XRD of the graphing images.
XRD, I think that XRD not here.
Next slide. This one.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for a just single layer or multi-layer graphing.
No. So XRD is giving the structural information.
But can we get so intensity from such?
Intensity maybe some contribution. You know, in the images, in images you can see it's not completely material transformed to the sheets. That's why they are getting some of the different composition were there. And composition you can see simply in the surface you can check the composition. They're not mentioned here, not here. And Actually, button the EDX mapping or EDX spectrum.
I mean, I guess this is like 26 around your peak there. That is a very intense. I mean, is it possible?
And just giving the information about not complete material transform to the nanosheets. It's partly transformed.
So that is a partial
The partial.
My question.
So
Now,
if we plan in a better way, we completely material transform to the nanosheets. So it's some kind of treatment, next treatment. So we have to check, maybe the sheets we have fabricated, the next treatment, that sheet will be spoiled. So we have to keep all the things in our mind.
what are the method you follow for just preparing the gathering? What was the method you follow?
It's chemical method,
Chemical.
simple, we can collect the ash, leaching, समझ लो leaching क्या होता है? Leaching मैंने किसी चीज से कुछ लीचिंग कर रहे हैं, जैसे हम वो करते हैं ना, जैसे पाल निकालते हैं शरीर में, जो लीचिंग बोलते हैं ना सर, तो इस तरह से हम कुछ लीचिंग करते हैं। तो जब केमिकल ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं तो केमिकल मिक्स करते हैं, उससे जो कंपाउंड जो रिएक्ट करके कंपाउंड बनाते हैं बाहर निकल जाते हैं, इधर जाते हैं और नीचे साइड में पड़ जाते हैं। तो भी करना चाहिए। हाँ
कहाँ है कनेक्ट? Even Dr. Kamlesh.
any other question? I would be happy.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nepoin, for your query, and thank you, sir, for your questions and answers. So there is one query from my side. As you are using the biomass derived materials, and we are also using for the medicinal use as well as for the consumption purpose. So it's important to know about the toxicity of this material. So is there any possibility that these biomass derived materials are toxic in nature, or we can check if it is, then can we check the toxicity?
If plant is growing well and is completely giving the fruits, we feel the materials are there, not too much toxic, but contamination were there.
So in the natural, suppose we are taking cellulose.
You know.
So is there any possibility that if there is no contamination, there is a toxicity in the cellulose?
No, we can't say in, without testing. You know, our body permissible. The toxic contaminants, our body also need. Our body also needs the mercury. You know, we are needing the tulsi leaves. Tulsi leaves have the mercury, but that is permissible in our body. 10 ppm is permissible. You know why the Ayurvedic medicine not popular till date? Because of not proper, research oriented medicines.
Not properly.
The heavy metals were there. The composition not precise specified there. That's why not popularized till date. Still they are suffering.
So can you tell us some method to measure the toxicity?
Of course, SPLC is very popular. My chemistry professor know.
SPS.
Yeah.
Actually, I am working on a material that's the substitute of bisphenol A.
Toxicity can cause even the process can calculate even 1 ppm we can 1 ppm we can check the contaminant.
Now I'm working on a substance that's the substitute of bisphenol A that's used in making the milk water for the kids. So
Actually, my there is Kamo sensor I have more than 10 for the last 5 years. And so all are high unit, more than 10%. So these papers I focused, we measure the toxicity or the contamination of the particular animals, even 10 millimolar. That's sorry, 10 nanomolar. Here measure.
so can you please repeat that method? SPE,
SPLC.
HPLC.
Very famous.
Okay, sir.
Or we can even we can check from fluorescence. Yeah. Fluorescence is
With the help of fluorescence spectroscopy, we can also check the toxicity.
Yeah.
Okay, I will explore that. Thank you, sir. So any other query? Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Very nice talk, very informative. And I think new researchers will enjoy. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Misima to give the monitor to our speakers. Professor Neil Srivastava.
तो बंसर तो कनेक्ट नहीं है और दो चार्जिंग भी कनेक्ट नहीं है
And I would like to invite Dr. Hashim Ahmad. Please come forward and give a token of love to Dr. Thank you. Now, next session is continued by Dr. Agarwal. And in next session, one invited talk by Dr. Kamlesh Pandey. And I think he's online but not connected with us. So we have two oral talks. One that will be described by Dr. Agarwal.
Thank you, sir. So our next scheduled presentation is of Dr. Rituban, sir. But as he is not connected right now, so we'll go for the next presentation, that is of Pishu Singh, Pusha Singh, and she is also not neither present nor connected online. So we'll go in the session 3, and there was an invited talk of Professor Kamlesh Pandey, and as he said, he will be online, but right now he is also not connected. So the next candidate is the oral presentation to Ms. Meenakshi from BHU Varanasi on the topic MnO2 dispatched to PEO NAI polymer electrolytes. Ms. Meenakshi, and you have 10 minutes for the presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Meenakshi, and currently I am working under Professor Bharata Bhattacharya. And the topic of my paper is called PEO NAI polymer electrolytes. So, what is polymer electrolytes? Polymer electrolytes is a matrix capable of ion conduction, movement of charges between anode and the cathode. A solid state polymer electrolyte arises from the coordination of an inorganic salt to the polymer matrix. There are various like dye-sensitized solar cell, electrochemical capacitors, supercapacitors, fuel cells, and the sensors. I made a composite polymer electrolyte. So what is composite polymer electrolyte? Composite polymer electrolyte is a polymer matrix that incorporates inorganic fillers. Inorganic fillers are chemically inert but with a high dielectric constant that enhances the ionic conductivity by the formation of ion pairs in polymer electrolyte. So there are many fillers like TiO, TiO3 and ETC. Here I am using MnO2 as my filler. So before doing the experiment, I give different challenges in my mind, and some of them are conductivity, stability, cost, and the size. So I did synthesis with the help of solution cast method. First I put PEO, NAI, and the acetonitrile. Then I put it on a magnetic stirrer, and after that, after 7 or 8 hours, it's cast and it looked like this. As you see here, color changes by increasing the weight % of MnO2. As you can see, first my color is white, and after that, my color is increasing. After that, I did characterization of my film. I did FTIR analysis, and you can see in this figure that all these different weight versions of amino were same. Hence, we can say that there is no any bond formation for our polymer electrolyte. It's a composite polymer electrolyte. We have highest of highest of 0.5 MnO2 and smallest hump at 5% of MnO2. This shows that amorphicity is largest at 0.5% of MnO2. In 5%, you can see here two extra peaks are present, and this is at 59° and 70°. This shows that MnO2 particles are dispersed in acidity and the formation of a complex such confirmed. After that, with the help of impedance spectroscopy, I calculated my conductivity, and you can see in figure that we have the highest conductivity at 0.58% of MnO2, and that is 2.89 into 10⁻⁻6 Simon per centimeter. So, this conductivity I explained with the two. My film was semi-crystalline in nature, so we have a crystalline nature in my film. So when we increase the weight, feature is increased. Feature, we have is our conductivity. And that after that, it increases the weight. And the second reason is that it increases the weight percent. And they form a charge conducting part. They form a charge conducting part. As you can see in figure that we have a charge conducting part from one to other. And I can known as the threshold condition. Known as the population threshold. Trukhan's model, I used this formula of Trukhan's model, and with the help of plot of tan delta log f, I took the f max and the frequency max and the tan max values, and I put it my formula and then calculated the charge density and the mobility. After that, I plotted three curves together, that is conductivity, mobility, and the charge density. As you can see, first my conductivity is controlled by the mobility. As my conductivity increases, so mobility is also increases. After that, as you can see, charge density is decreases, and according to this, my conductivity is also decreases. After that, I did dielectric analysis, as you can see in figure. At lower frequency, and we have highest dielectric constant and dielectric lowest dielectric constant and dielectric at the highest frequency. So conclusion, I will conclude that our polymer electrolyte is a composite polymer electrolyte. Exciting shows that 0.58% MnO2 has highest amorphicity, and hence our electrolyte, hence our conductivity is maximum. Maximum conductivity is 2.89 into 10⁻⁻6 Simon per centimeter. We have plotted the curve frequency, and with the help of Trukhan's model, we calculated the charge density and the mobility of ions. Mobility of charges carries, dominates, and controls the conductivity up to 1%, and the number of charge carriers dominates. Acknowledgement, hands to I will be for junior research fellowship. Thank you.
So, Meenakshi, finally you have completed your presentation, so just relax. You have given a nice presentation. Also, it was seeing that you were getting a little nervous.
Actually, I'm a bit nervous. My first presentation, so I
Don't worry, we were much more nervous than you when we were at your stage. So, the presentation was very nice, and the nervousness is quite common.
Yes, sir.
So,
ये
तो-
NaN02 डालने के बाद कंडक्टिविटी इनहेंस करती है किसी एक खास परसेंटेज पे,
Yes, sir.
क्या होता है?
Sir, I explained the reason of increase of conductivity by two theoretical concepts. The first one is, my film was saving to shiny nature, and by increasing the weight percent of MnO2, all the change happening. Our charge carriers have increases, and because of that, our conductivity is highest at 0.58% of MnO2. And the second reason
हाँ हेलो, ये हमारे पे तो वही आ रहा है डॉक्टर कविता खताना। उसी पे ज्वाइन किए हैं एनसीएमडी वाले में। हाँ हाँ, अभी तो यही है। ठीक ठीक, ओके। हाँ हाँ हाँ, ठीक है, हम हैं, हम बैठे हैं, ठीक।
जो इसे देख,
हो गया, जल गया नेट।
उतना भी जल गया
नेट हाँ, और इतना पे
मैं तो इसलिए गया था जल्दी से,
पिंग आ गई था।
सो ये सब रख ले।
polymer is recognized because as man has already mentioned, they have high conductivity. And the motion of the high is
मेरे यहाँ दवाई लेने
sodium salt electrolyte I have used wheat starch because it is easily available, and sodium is used because it is economical. These starch and
सही है connect
sorry. The quality is not clear, but it was-
पांडे था
Short percentage. After that,
दो करेंगे अभी प्रेजेंटेशन ऑनलाइन होगा नेक्स्ट प्रेजेंटेशन ऑनलाइन होगी वो अलग से मालूम बताओ आप
वहाँ से बोले ना
हाँ
वो तो वहाँ से होगा डिस्प्ले वहाँ से होगा
अच्छा तो वो तो वहीं से हाँ मतलब हम हाँ तो ये तो एक
यहाँ
ही
तो
है
कुछ मतलब नहीं है
यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं है तो
हाँ
हम
तो रिकॉर्डिंग चल रही है
मतलब
वो अपने आप बना दो। ये कर बोल
यहाँ से
होस्ट कौन बना रहे हो
बहुत करना बन गया ना लेजर ड्राइंग बैठा वो बहुत तो बनाए और कम से
किसी के जन करेगा वो बैठा
यहाँ से फोकस नहीं बनेगा क्या है आप सीसीआईटी में नहीं सीएम अजय करेगा तो अभी नहीं तो हम अजय से ही कहें ना अजय करेगा तो अजय को बोलेंगे कमलेश पांडे को फोटो बना दे अभी नहीं इस प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद तो बना ही दो कमलेश पांडे जी को फोटो बना दो
strip from the sample. The sample is really, as you can see, the film is thin, easily bendable, can be twisted. This is
ये अंदर जो अभी दो ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंटेशन है तो इन्हें होस्ट बनाना पड़ेगा ना पीपीटी करने के लिए
properties of the film.
लोग इनसे बात करो पराग सर
हाँ अजय भाई डॉक्टर कमलेश और डॉक्टर कविता जो कनेक्ट है ये ऑनलाइन प्रेजेंट करेंगे अच्छा वो टैग शेयर कर सकते हैं चेंज कैसे करेंगे
तो आप क्या करते हैं वहाँ पे
अच्छा हो जाएगी ना कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगा
वो तो अपने आप ही करते हैं
Formation of hanging vessels. Most of the hangings because of.
तो वो इन्हें बता दो ना
क्या
जा रहे हैं पासवर्ड को लॉगिन करवा हो
There has been no semicircle, which means that there has been.
ये सब बंदी नहीं
We observe some semicircle. There is end of mission resistance.
हाँ हाँ वो कनेक्ट बात होती है इनके बाद
So this is how the conductivity is increased with the decrease in the CSR. And the humidity dependence graph indicates that within this humidity, there has been no detectable change in the stage of conductivity. And this was taken when the system was in environment. In a batch structure. So this much of chambers. If this stay constant, conductivity will stay constant. Because absorption in the ambient environment because of the hydrophilic nature of the starch and the hydrophilic nature of the salt that we are using. But that presence of the water is not less than the indicator. If the presence of the water, the LSC would have been in the range of 1.2. But as you can see, the voltage window is quite wide, which is approximately 3 volts. And NCMD indicates that how much voltage level is there. And it's also indicates that the voltage range is also important because of the voltage directly emphasizes the energy density and power density. Because the square of the voltage is there. For the energy density, we have half C square and for the power density, D square. Whereas in the E parameter, see what is the voltage range of the user to write that.